Hello, scholars. All right, we're talking about stars today. This is our second lesson in the astronomy unit. Yesterday we talked about uh, astronomy in general. Today we do stars. Tomorrow we'll move on to planets and so on and so forth. So, what are stars? Stars are these enormous balls of gas. Okay, and these balls of gas are so massive, so large that the gravitational force between the atoms pulls them together and squeezes them until they fuse. All right? They have nuclear reactions. The atoms are squeezed so hard together that they make new atoms. Okay? Smaller atoms get fused into larger ones. In our sun, official Latin name is Sol, okay? It's going to take hydrogen atoms, simplest atoms in all the universe, and it's going to take two hydrogen atoms and fuse them into helium. So our star, our sun is a star, and it's taking hydrogen atoms, fusing them together to make helium. In that process, in that nuclear reaction, you're going to release a lot of energy. We just talked about energy, right? Last unit. It's going to release that energy in the forms of heat and light and electromagnetic radiation, right? That light gets to us. That's what fuels all life on Earth. Okay, we see with that light. Plants do photosynthesis with that light. Now, our star is pretty much an average star. Okay, it's going to last about 10 billion years. We're about halfway through our life cycle, and at the end, our star is going to burn up all the hydrogen it has. It's going to run out of fuel, just like a fire. When it does, it's going to collapse, and then that added pressure from the collapse is going to reignite it, and then it's going to be able to burn helium, and it becomes a red giant. All right. So stars go through a life cycle. They go through different stages, just kind of like you go from toddler to adolescent to adult to old age. Stars have a life cycle as well. You can see that over here on this Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. I'm going to make this bigger in a moment for us to go through. But I want you to understand that stars are born from clouds of gas. We talked about the Orion constellation a little bit. That in that belt of Orion, one of those spots of bright light isn't really a star. It is a gas cloud, a nebula. All right, and in these interstellar gas clouds are where stars are born. The clouds come together, and gravity pulls them, and they start to swirl, and they start to collapse. And when they do, boom, they get massive enough, they ignite, and form a star. Now, groups of stars are called galaxies. So you find clusters, clumps of stars, all orbiting a central region. And we know that at the center of many galaxies, are black holes. Here's a galaxy right here. It's surrounded by so many stars that you see light, but really at the center is what we call a black hole. All right, let's go through this just quickly so you can see the pictures. Copy them down for your worksheet. We have hydrogen atom and hydrogen atom getting fused together from the pressure of that star to make helium in a nuclear reaction, and that releases all sorts of energy from that star, especially light, which we see. This is that Hertzsprung-Russell diagram that I talked about. This shows lots of different groups of stars, but we see that there's a main sequence, all right? We're graphing luminosity, how bright the star is, versus temperature, okay? We have cooler temperatures over here, the red stars, hotter temperatures over here, the blue stars. Our star, okay, our sun right here, is pretty much an average star. It's a yellow star in the main sequence. So halfway through its lifetime, this is the early stars. They're very massive and they're very hot. And these are the cooler stars down here. Okay, we're not a dwarf star. We're not a giant star. We're an average star. Cool? All right. I just think this picture is super, super cool. Okay. We're talking about constellations. This is in the Orion constellation. This is what we call the pillars of creation. These are stellar gas clouds. Each one of these little spikes on here is going to become a star. Okay? All these little pillars of gas are eventually going to become a star. This is a new star right there. Okay? And so stars are born. They're not alive, but they're created from these balls of gas. Okay? And last but not least, you have billions and billions of stars in each galaxy. And there's billions of galaxies. So there are billions and billions and billions and billions of stars out there in the universe. Pretty cool place to be. It's a pretty cool place to study. And there, make sure you read your 2-page article, take your notes. We'll see you in class.